I started coming to church here in I believe it's either 94, 95, somewhere. I'm a little foggy about where. And when I first started coming to church here, it was a friend I met out at a club who lived in Oak Park who pointed this church out to me, and I lived like 2 blocks up the street from this church and always noticed it was busy. Couldn't figure out why people were at church every day of the week, until I started coming here. When I first started coming here, the very first person I ever met was Pat Dolezal. My granddaughter, not Charlie, but another one, used to play with her kids, and she came over and she talked to me after church. And I was like, oh no, somebody knows me now, I have to come back, which was such a great thing because I was really glad that I did come back. So I jumped in when I started coming here to like everything I could get into, get involved with. I did a home group with the Watermans and the Griscos, and then I was in a Bible study at Janet Mahoney's house. I did women's ministry. Then I started serving in nursery. I did back when we used to do the Saturday cleaning, I did that. I thought that was really going to, I guess, get me points with God and was going to make me a Christian. But along the way, I found out that it's not just that gets you into God's kingdom. So anyhow, some of the serving things I did, then I decided I did nursery, I was doing Awana, and then I was asked to help usher. And about a year or so into ushering, now I had 1 foot in the world and 1 foot in the church. And I was still going out clubbing and drinking and having unhealthy relationships. So one time we had this crazy video about people coming up and talking to somebody, and they said it as like, I think, garlic breath. I don't know if you know the video, Bill, but this guy standing there and people were coming in going, oh, like this. So I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I was out drinking last night. What if they can smell that on my breath? And I was always told that the ushers are the first people you're seeing. You're representing the church and you're representing Christ. And it was just a really life-changing for me that if I wanted to usher and to represent Christ, I couldn't go out drinking anymore. Not that other people can't, I'm not saying you can't have a drink, you can't have fun, but for me, I couldn't. So basically, it was kind of like I just stopped going out drinking, and then there were other issues along the way, things that were like God telling me, stop doing this, stop doing this. And so I just immersed myself in still being in church, doing Bible studies. And then I started doing youth group. And with the youth group, it's like I'm realizing teens are looking up to us as leaders and how we're living our life. And I would not want a teen living the life I led. So I have just really trying to model what I think a good Christian woman should be doing, and a life that they should be leading, honoring God. And to prove that these kids, they've made as much of an influence on me as I have on them. Monday night, I thought 4 people or 5 people were going out to dinner with me to say goodbye, and it ended up being 13 teens showing up to take me out to dinner, and it was just so impressive to me. And, just some of the things that the teens have said to me since I said I was leaving. And part of it, one of the verses that really made a difference way back even before the ushering, but I kind of read it, listened, and didn't hear it. But then after a while, it's in 1 Corinthians 6, and it's basically a whole section, but 2 verses that really stood out to me was, do you not know that your bodies are members of Christ himself? Shall I then take the members of Christ and unite them with a prostitute? Never. And the other one is 18, flee from sexual immorality. All other sins a man commits are outside his body, but he who sins sexually sins against his own body. Do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit who is in you, whom you have received from God? You're not your own. You were bought at a price. Therefore, honor God with your body. That you were bought at a price, I can always picture Christ hanging on the cross, and I know that what I did put him there. So in answer to Bill's question about the sermon today, what if Jesus had never been born? I would not know his unconditional love, nor would I know salvation. nor would I know my church family. And I'm going to miss every one of you, especially the teens.